Hello everyone. Whether you're hauling old orange clinker cars or you're going to the short track on Saturday night, or you've had a rough day Sunday at the races at the demo, or you're heading down to the strip on a Sunday afternoon, the biggest question is, how do you get them all there and back home again? Answer is a custom hauler. This is kind of a versatile truck that I built years ago. Well, a couple years ago actually. We're going to get into details on the truck here shortly, but I wanted to build a display piece that was kind of universal, if you will, for various types of vehicles, races, whatever. The door, it says Sonny's Dismantlers on it. Now, local races, local short track races, local drag races, demo derbies. If you ever watch the haulers and stuff that are out in the yard or out in the pits, and you're always looking around, I mean, you look around and whatever else is out there, a lot of times you'll see that one truck or that one hauler that is just kind of looks universal for everything that you can do with it. Well, this could be one of them. Like I say, if you're hauling that orange clinker car to the scrap yard, or if you found it sitting in a scrap yard and you want to bring it home to rebuild it and restore it, like a couple people have, you know, it works for the dismantling yard, works for hauling just your regular everyday car, or whether it's that barn find that you just found and you want to drag it home. As you watch this video, you kind of get the sense of what I was after. By every car that I put on here, no matter what color race car it goes on the back end of it, this one being orange and white, other ones being red, blue and green, whatever other colors, any color that goes on this truck, you kind of get the sense that it looks right. That's kind of the look that I was going after when I built this. I wanted something that was universal for whatever car that I wanted to display on it. In doing so, the bed was entirely scratch built out of evergreen sheet plastic. This is all evergreen sheet and evergreen tubing. Half round for the hinges, just to give it the definition of hinges. Little pieces of square plastic for the slam locks. A little strip for the wheel wells or the flares for the tires. All of the cars that you see going through, I'm cycling through right now. I'll do a feature on them later on. I know a couple of you guys are probably like, ooh, what's more? I want to know more about that. Well, we'll get into them later. Kind of teasing you right now. Made a mention the other night of Terry. I went to his website or his channel, checked out his cars. He had a Jungle Jim 66 Nova. I told him a little bit about this and figured I'd throw it in here for him today. But this video is more about the truck. And I wanted to do a hauler. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. Just didn't know how I wanted to do it. And this is kind of the way I've come up with it as far as doing it. So with that in mind, I'm going to peel the cars back and we're going to get into the hauler here. As I was saying before, the entire bed is all scratch built. The ramps are kit pieces. But the clevises and everything in the back here for the ramps, catches, this is evergreen plastic, just C-channel. I've got two hooks back here for just pulling cars or whatever, along with a receiver hitch on the back end here. That's the tail end of it. Let me get a little light on that. Now the receiver hitch is there for two reasons. One, this way I can hook a trailer up to it, pull two demo cars. I can pull two drag cars, two stock cars, or just make it more of a versatile vehicle, hauling two vehicles at the same time. Or two, it's just another place to hang the mini bike when you're going to the races, to have something right around in the pits on. The bed on this, like I say, was all evergreen sheet. This is aluminum diamond plate, like wire mesh. I got this through Spalding Trucking Supply. They used to sell it in like a 4x8 sheet. 4" by 8" sheet. And you can cut it with like a pair of shears. Cuts pretty easy. You can even cut it with a pair of scissors probably. I just put that on there and then painted the whole thing just to give it a little depth. Add a little rust to it, just to add a little weathering to it. All the scrape marks from the ramps being thrown in and pulled out. There's a little shot at the wire mesh. Tow hook is functional. And pull it up, hook it up to your car, and pull the car onto the trailer or onto the back of the bed. If any of you work at a factory and you have one of these little doohickeys that hold your badge or your ID card to your waist, they make good tow hooks. That's all that is inside the back of the truck here. I don't know if you can see it or no, you're not gonna be able to see it. That's all this is just was one of these glued up inside of the truck with the string coming through it. Then I took one of the tow hooks off of the AMT Peterbilt wrecker, looped it through there, bent this around, and crimped it with a jewelry crimping bead. And then that's all this is. You can run it out. And then I've got my J hooks. That way I can hook it to the front of the car and then hook the hook to this and hold it up on the truck. I don't have my other modified out right now, otherwise I'd show you another little tidbit about, little tip. I might throw a video together with all that stuff one of these days. I've got a lot of different stuff that, outside the box, like using earplugs for certain something on cars. I can get into them later. But right now, like I say, this is the bed is entirely scratched. This is the tire rack. You got 3 stages where you can put tires on it. You can go in the middle of the tire, you can go in the back of the tire, or you can go in the front with the tire. The front is more for, let me grab it down here, like your bigger tires, your bigger dirt tires, bigger drag slicks and such. You can even throw them into the back. And then a lot of times you just roll them, lean up and over, roll them off the back, drop them down, and then drop them off, let them roll off the truck. That way you don't have to, climb up in here and pull them off this way. You roll them off the back of the truck. A lot of times they put the bigger ones toward the back, smaller ones toward the front. That way it's just easier roll off, getting it off the truck. You can even haul a wing sprint car on them. Just kind of, like I say, I wanted to build this truck just so it was universal to haul whatever on it. You can haul, pickup trucks to whatever on it. Ramps, I just cut these down from something. I forget where these ever came from. Might have come off of one of the semi-truck kits. I just cut them down, filed the bottom to where it meets the ground. Works pretty good. You can even, if you had the trailer hooked up to the back of it, you can even run these across onto the other trailer if you didn't want to disconnect the trailer. All right, let's get to the cab on this thing. The cab, as you all know, is the 72 Chevy truck from here forward. The cab from here forward is all pretty much stock. I didn't do anything to it other than paint it, whatever, put the clearance lights on it. Now the back half of this cab, this section here from here back, is a section off of one of the 1991-92 Chevy Dually Snap Together kits that AMT put out quite a few years ago. Now, the body lines from truck to truck, from year to year, these body lines all match up pretty good. The only thing I had to do to this section to get it to fit this cab is the very back of the cab. Look, if you're looking at it from the back, So I had to cut a slip in the roof down along the side of the back of the cab, and then open up the cab, open up that, the back of this cab a little bit, because this cab, or the 90, 91, 92s, they narrow up, they pinch in a little bit on top, they narrow in. That's the only thing I had to do to that, is cut a couple slits in the back and then fill them, and then butt it up against this and mold it all together. The interior that's in here, I don't know how well you can see it. Whoop. The interior tub and interior in here is also out of the 92 snap together Chevy truck. Then I kept the 72 dashboard inside that. But the interior tub is the tub out of the snapper kit. Chassis underneath here is a couple of snap together kits. I cut it right here. Yeah, it's got 2 tranny pans, but yeah, What I did is I cut one of the trucks back. I cut this one off right at the fuel tank, right about here. That's what this is, because this is the leading edge of that fuel tank. Then I cut the other one off like right up in here. That's why I got 2 transmissions. The reason why I did that is to get the length. That way the chassis would fit this truck. Tires are out of the parts box. I'm not sure what the rubber came off of. The wheels come off of the Tom McDaniel's Super Boss, or the old school bus. Excuse me. They're off the school bus show rod drag truck. And like I say, this is all just evergreen plastic. You can see where I reinforced the corners, receiver hitch. And like you've always seen back in the 60s and 70s, the truck going to the pits, you always had the mini bike or a big spare tire strapped to the front of the truck. So I put a receiver hitch on the front to be able to carry the mini bike. Just put it right through the front bumper, or the license plate. I put the 67 grill on it, painted it to make it look like there's just a bare bone basic truck. And the wing is off an old sprint car. Just uses an air deflector to get the wind up over the bulkiness of the crew box, the pit box. In here they would have kept like tires, not tires, but jacks, chains, all their tools, like air compressor, jack stands. Anything that you'd use in the pits to work on your car, they always kept them inside here. This one they might have kept like tow straps and chains and stuff to hold the cars down on the trailers in the truck. Sometimes you used to see these where the top half of this was actually like a bunkhouse, where the crew, driver or whoever could be, be able to sleep in the back of here. And that's why I put the extended cab on here. That way you can utilize the back seat for a place to sleep if you wanted to, versus up in the toolbox. But I got the idea off of a Chevy truck that was on the internet. Kind of drew out my own style and shape of how I wanted the bed. And then just started cutting it and then modifying it, making it. In the end, I actually thought that this was a little too tall here. Be making the truck too high, but to get the front end of a car up underneath here, you almost need it this high. I know here a while back I showed off my pulling truck. Pulling truck would actually fit up underneath here, but it'd hang off the back. I think I put it in the video of that, a special trailer built for it anyway, a 5th wheel trailer. Then the mini bike, all I did with that is just a parts box mini bike that I found at a swap meet. I just left it alone and put it together and put a couple decals up on the gas tank. Duct tape on the seat to hold the seat together. Just to get the crew around the pits when they're at in the pits. Need to get to the starting line or run back and grab a tool or something. This is just an easy way of getting there and back again. The carrier is built out of scrap plastic that I had. This is pieces of evergreen in the back, and then this is just a piece of channel that I had. I'm not even sure where that channel came from. Might have come off of a semi-trailer. But yeah. So the question is, what would you load up on it? What would you take to the races? Drag car, stock car, dirt car, demo car, salt flat? Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's video. Hope y'all are having a good day. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the day. Stay cool if it's hot where you are. We got some rain here last night. Had some pretty wicked storms coming through. And even had some circulation, rotation going overhead last night. About 2 o'clock in the morning. So we had fun last night. Hope your day's going a lot better than that. But anywho, thanks for stopping by. If you haven't done so, click the subscribe button, click the like button. Let me know what you think. Tell me, talk to me. Like to hear your stories, like to hear about whatever. And that in mind, keep scratching that plastic, and we'll see you on the corner.